you think about weapons, what do you visualize and imagine? Guns, tanks, missiles, grenades, and the famed bazooka, right? But the world has come a long way, friends. We are no longer in the 20th century, which is why our weapons have changed too. Today, smart countries are weaponizing their most prized possessions. They're securing their critical technologies because they can now be used as weapons. Weapons can today be smaller than a 1-cent coin. This sounds unprecedented, but it's the reality. Taiwan has one such weapon and it makes China shake in its boots every single day. Hi and welcome to TFI Global, the foreign affairs and geopolitical analysis arm of the TFI Media Group. I am your host Isha, and in this video I will tell you why China can simply not afford an invasion of Taiwan. Let's begin. Taiwan is an asset for the world. Let's just say much of the world economy's fortunes depend on Taiwan. Now, how would you react if I told you Taiwan is among the most powerful countries in the world? You would probably laugh and consider me mad. After all, how can a small and internationally unrecognized country be considered strong, right? Well, what if I'm not talking in terms of firepower? Taiwan is, in that sense, among the most powerful countries in the world. It is a country on whose back the world economy rests. Taiwan's most formidable weapons are not big, they are not mighty. In fact, they are extremely small. They are microchips. I'm talking about semiconductors. Do they ring a bell? Of course they do. Taiwan is a semiconductor superpower. Without Taiwanese semiconductors, the world will practically shut down. Economies will collapse and entire civilizations will be reduced into nothingness. That's the hold Taiwan has over the world. Now imagine Taiwan using the strength of its against China. How does the canvas look now? Grim for China, right? Well, it is. China depends on Taiwanese semiconductors. Imagine a scenario where Taiwan refuses to give China these semiconductors. Or to step the ante even further, Taipei decides it will destroy its semiconductor manufacturing facilities to get back at China. Taiwan's semiconductors power the world. Something like 75% of the world's integrated circuit manufacturing capacity is based there. When it comes to the most advanced fabrication technologies, Taiwan outshines even the US today. For example, 92% of the world's capacity for the manufacturing nodes of 10 nanometers and below is currently located in Taiwan. Now imagine the extent to which China depends on Taiwan for its semiconductor needs. China can simply not go a day without using Taiwanese microchips. It has tried getting its own semiconductor technology for years now. However, success on that front remains elusive. Two American academicians and policy researchers have suggested that in order to make an invasion unattractive to China, Taiwan should consider a scorched earth policy, including the destruction of Taiwan Semiconductor manufacturing company's plants. Air University expert Jared McKinney and University of Colorado political scientist Peter Harris presented the plan in a piece titled "Broken Nest: Deterring China from Invading Taiwan," published in the US Army War College Quarterly Parameters. This is the most downloaded paper published by the US Army War College in 2021. One key recommendation is for the US and Taiwan to threaten to destroy the facilities of Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company. TSMC is the world's most important chip supplier. Destruction of its facilities in Taiwan in the event of a Chinese invasion would paralyze China for years on the end. According to the paper, China's high-tech industries would be immobilized at precisely the same time the nation was embroiled in a massive war effort. Even when the formal war ended, the economic costs would persist for years. The paper added, despite a huge Chinese effort for a made-in-China chip industry, only 6% of semiconductors used in China were produced domestically in 2020. China can simply not afford an invasion of Taiwan. First, it risks getting embroiled in a war way of its lead. If the United States, Japan, France, India, and other world powers decide to support Taiwan, China will not only comprehensively be defeated, it will also be taken back by several decades in economic terms. Speaking of the economy, If China does launch an invasion of Taiwan, it would suddenly find all Taiwanese microchip facilities burned to the ground. This would trigger a global crisis of semiconductors, of which China will be the biggest casualty. But guess what? The world is luring semiconductor manufacturers and ensuring domestic supply is maintained in times of such crisis. But China has no such alternatives. It relies entirely on Taiwan for semiconductors. And with Taiwan's facilities gone, China will come to a standstill. Taiwan, therefore, has a great weapon it can use against China. It can force China into submission and protect itself while at it.